Today I'm going to be attempting something strange. I'm going to be giving myself a tattoo. Hey guys, it's Rachel, and you know me. I love all different forms of drawing. I love all different forms of ink. But one thing I've not gotten yet is a tattoo. It's not because I haven't wanted one. I really do want one. I've been having multiple roadblocks in the tattoo scene, I guess. But you know those like Facebook algorithms and the search engine algorithms where they're kind of like, oh, you've been getting a lot of this item you might be interested in. It popped up on my screen and in my Facebook feed, and it was for this thing called Inkbox. And it's kind of similar to Sketchbox, but it's not a monthly subscription. It's something where you choose the patterns that you want, or you choose the ink that you want, and then you can give yourself a temporary tattoo. It's kind of like henna, where you like leave it on your skin for a little bit and then it'll be there for like a couple of weeks. So what I'm going to attempt to do is I am going to try to put one design on my skin with the transfer paper, but then I'm also going to just completely freehand a second design. So that way I can see how the working with the transfer paper works, but then also working just out of my head. Let's dive in and see how this goes. The fun thing that's about Inkbox is they do come with a lot of stencils. I looked at a lot of the stencils and they're cute, they're cool, fun designs. I want my own designs. I want my own artwork on there. So I was just kind of like, maybe I can find a way to give myself something. So then, of course, they have these freehand packets. So I got a regular ink, and then there's a shading ink, so it's a little lighter. But they're meant so that I can freehand my own designs on my arm. So I got that and a little packet of transfer paper. So apparently if I get this wet after I've drawn the design on there, I get this wet on my skin and it will then put that design there. How the ink works is, and there was thankfully Inkbox has a ton of videos as to like, hey, this is how you apply it, this is how you clean the needle, this is how you do all this stuff. So Inkbox is actually really good about making sure you know what you're doing before you just dive in and get yourself all penned up. Thank you for that, Inkbox. There was some videos that were saying things like you apply it to your skin, you leave it there for an hour, letting it sit, and then you wash it off. But then when you wash it off, it like looks like you don't have anything. And then it'll appear on your skin in like 24 to 36 hours. So it is something that is gonna take a little bit more of a process in order for us to see it. After the whole 24-hour time period, it's then tomorrow's the next day. It looks so good! I'm not entirely sure how well you guys can see it in this light. So the mountains and the adventure I had just free-handed. I think my camera died before I was able to do any of that. So I didn't use any stencils for this one, but it did come out like still a nice fun gradient, and I was kind of hoping for a gradient rather than like a harsh contrast. I of course am off kilter, but you know, it's my first time. This one I had used the stencil for. I'd used that contact paper for it, and I adore how it turned. I used a little bit of both the black liner and the gray shading. That I had purchased both bottles because I wanted to try them both. And I really admit, like that gray shading, like the lighter one, like you can get some pretty like smooth, just like professional looking shading. I've always wanted one, so now I know how it looks, and now I'm like, okay, let's find me an artist who can put this on. Now I really want a tattoo now. Thanks for joining me in this week's video, guys. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more of my videos, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Watch the other videos that I have. Tons of time lapses and other art shenanigans I'm getting into. If you want to see more of my actual artwork, I have multiple links that I'm leaving in the description. That's to like Facebook, Etsy, DeviantArt, all that jazz. I have a lot of places that I post online. Lots of things to do. Once again, I want to thank you guys for joining me in this week's video. I will see you next time for another art adventure. I can't stop looking at them.